The first time I watched my investment portfolio drop $10,000 in a single day, something unexpected happened. I didn't panic. In fact, I barely flinched. Most people believe financial freedom is about flashy cars, designer vacations, or spending without thinking. But here's the truth. According to Vanguard, a 30% market correction is entirely normal. And when you have real money invested, these $10,000 swings can become routine. So why would someone stop worrying about losing what once felt like a year's worth of pay, almost, overnight? Stick with me, because I'm going to show you the exact mindset changes with real numbers that can turn stress into confidence, no matter how much you have invested or how scary those market headlines get. Let's lay this out clearly before we go any further. There are 3 critical mindset shifts every wealth builder goes through, whether you're starting with $100 or you're aiming for your first million. Each shift completely transforms the way you relate to money, risk, and even setbacks. First, let's rewind to the beginning, the scarcity mindset. If you've ever felt like every expense is a setback, or that your entire financial picture depends on nothing going wrong this month, you're in familiar territory. When I started out, maybe you relate. Every dollar out felt like losing ground. You get paid, you pay the bills, and by the time rent and groceries clear, something always hits. A flat tire, a $50 copay, or an unexpected $20 overcharge at the local grocery store, and suddenly you're anxious and exhausted. It's like your money vanishes as fast as you earn it. Because in many ways, it does. This isn't just your imagination. According to a recent Bankrate survey, 56% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency expense from savings. When you live on the edge, every expense feels like it threatens your stability. Let's call this mindset shift number 1. Money in control. Not you. Your stress comes from being forced to play defense. Always reacting, never getting ahead. But here's where the journey begins to change. Curious what it's like when money starts working for you. Even if you're starting small, stay with me. What comes next is the real breakthrough. Many miss. So, second mindset shift number 2 is when you make the leap from saver to investor. It doesn't have to start with $100,000. Or even $10,000. The very first time you see your invested balance grows or fluctuates without you lifting a finger, you unlock a totally new financial perspective. Think about it. Let's say you've managed to invest $10,000. That's not rich by any measure. But here's where it gets interesting. The stock market regularly moves 1% in a day, sometimes up, sometimes down. On $10,000, that's a $100 change. That's the price of a nice dinner, a utility bill, or a tank of gas, and you didn't work extra hours to see that. Swing the first few times, it's uncomfortable, even unsettling. But over time, you start to accept these ups and downs as normal. This is where the math becomes empowering. Your wealth isn't just about saving. It's about building a system that grows on its own. Now, let's up the stakes. Suppose your portfolio eventually grows to $1 million. That same 1% daily market movement means your wealth shifts by $10,000 in a day, more than most people spend in a year. You could be down $10,000 before lunch and earn it all back by dinner with zero additional effort. Here's the critical realization. These swings are only as scary as your attachment to each dollar. This mindset shift means you've stopped measuring money by what you can buy today and started measuring by what your money can do every day. According to Fidelity's 2023 retirement report, experienced investors who focus on long-term growth are far less likely to panic during downturns than new investors chasing quick wins. The big takeaway? The daily ups and downs aren't emergencies. They're arithmetic. But what about the risk? Let's talk about what most beginners fear: crashes, not just wobbles. Suppose you experience a 30% market correction, which happens every decade or so, according to Vanguard historical data. With $10,000 invested, that's a $3,000 dip. With $100,000, it's $30,000. At $1 million, you're down $300,000 on paper. About the price of a home in many United States cities. That's the point most people freeze. But here's the crucial difference. The real pain isn't just the loss itself. It's the belief that every dollar lost required backbreaking work to earn. Drop a comment below with the word mindset if you've ever worried that a $200 expense could undo weeks or months of progress. You're not alone. Our community at Mark Invests has thousands of people working through the same shift. Now, here's the hidden truth that unlocked everything for me. Mindset shift number 3, growth detachment. Imagine your portfolio is worth $500,000, but you only ever invested $200,000 of your own money. The remaining $300,000 is profit. Money. Your capital earned, not your manual labor. So, when the market drops $20,000 in a week, it may feel shocking, but that's not your blood, sweat, or extra overtime vanishing. It's the market temporarily readjusting the left. Gains your money, not your hours. Made for you. That means rival your annual pre-investment salary without any action on your part. This is a psychological transformation. You move from a paycheck mindset to an asset mindset. And research supports it. According to Charles Schwab, over 50% of millionaires still track monthly expenses, but the day-to-day panic disappears because their confidence comes from their portfolio's built-in ability to recover, not from micromanaging every dollar. Here's the next curiosity loop. Most people think losing money hurts less because you didn't earn it. But there's a danger here. You start to understand why lottery winners or people who inherit sudden wealth can lose it all, because there's no pain attached. They detach from responsibility entirely. The difference? If you've built wealth from scratch, you have the knowledge, experience, and healthy detachment to ride storms without ignoring the risks. Let's break this down with a real-world example. Imagine a $1,500 car. Repair bill used to be a nightmare. Maybe a month's discretionary spending gone in an hour. But now, when you compare that to your portfolio moving $1,500 in a single afternoon, it barely registers. In fact, research from the Federal Reserve shows that over 60% of Americans have felt major financial stress from an unexpected $1,000, $2,000 expense. But for seasoned investors, those same amounts become no more stressful than a routine market blip, because you've seen bigger fluctuations happen automatically. Let's pause here. Is this perspective actually attainable, or is it reserved for the ultra-wealthy? The answer is, you don't need $1 million portfolio to feel this shift. Even if you've started investing just $1,000 or $5,000, the principle is the same. When your money is out there working, no matter the amount, you're earning on both your skill and your state capital. All of the sudden, if you spend every dollar of your paycheck, your investments will still be silently compounding in the background. The numbers might be small at first, but the feeling is huge. According to a 2022 report from J.P. Morgan, investors who begin early, even with small amounts, are much more likely to experience financial calm and resilience later, simply because they've normalized healthy portfolio swings. Ready for a quick, practical check-in? Screenshot or jot down these 3 mindset shifts. 1. From scarcity defense to automated offense. 2. From savoring each dollar to building systems that earn investor mindset. 3. From attachment to growth detachment. Understanding market fluctuations are not setbacks. I'll walk you through each again with concrete numbers in just a second. But first, if these mindset shifts are landing for you, hit the subscribe button to join Mark Invests. Every week, my channel breaks down the psychology of money using real numbers and real research, so you're never surprised by market swings again. Here's a shareability moment you'll want to remember. Real wealth isn't having more. It's worrying less about life's surprises. Let's see what that looks like in action. Consider Jasmine, a composite case drawn from dozens of real Mark Invests viewers. She started with less than $4,000 in investments and worried constantly about bumpy paychecks and surprise bills. Over 3 years, she steadily increased her investments, and now, sudden $300 expenses no longer send her into a panic. Why? Because her portfolio routinely moves more than that each month, and she's seen it bounce back from 5-figure setbacks. That's not TikTok magic. That's normalization of growth detachment in real life. Remember, at larger wealth levels, daily swings dwarf life's big expenses. Once your account is large enough, a $5,000 vacation is the same as a single day's market movement. And when unexpected costs crop up, like replacing an HVAC for $5,000 or handling an emergency room bill, you still feel them. But the anxiety doesn't linger. You know your overall trajectory stays intact because your wealth engine is running 24/7. The real luxury isn't a car or a watch. It's escaping financial stress. So let's summarize each shift. Shift number 1. Scarcity mind means every expense feels like a crisis. Shift number 2. The investor mindset reframes your relationship to market movement as normal, not threatening. Shift number 3. Growth detachment lets you shrug off what once felt catastrophic and focus on optimizing your bigger picture. Here's something critical you must not forget. Wealth isn't built or destroyed in a single day. It's the combination of consistency, time, patience, and the perspective you bring. You'll have brutal weeks, but history, backed by S&P 500 data, shows that sticking to your system through ups and downs builds true wealth. To make this actionable for you, I've built a free financial resilience checklist. Grab it at the link below. It will walk you step by step through emergency preparation, mindset calibration, and ongoing habits to reinforce your confidence, no matter the market. Don't let another month go by living in financial anxiety. Download your checklist, and while you're at it, share in the comments. What's the biggest unexpected expense that knocked you off track this year? You're not alone, and sharing helps us all get stronger together. Before we wrap, remember, nothing in this video is financial advice, and past market performance doesn't guarantee future results. Every situation is unique, and you should consult a licensed professional for investment decisions. Keep building, keep learning, and keep growing that sense of calm. Because true financial peace is all about worrying less, not spending more. Let's quickly recap the actionable steps and big lessons from today. There are 3 mindset shifts that move you from financial anxiety to real wealth confidence. First, understand that in a scarcity mindset, every expense feels overwhelming, and your stress is driven by lack of control. Second, once you start investing, even small amounts, your focus changes from defense to offense. As you see your money working for you. Third, as your portfolio and confidence grow, you become resilient to both the market's daily swings and life's surprises, because you know setbacks are just temporary numbers, not permanent setbacks. Here are your next steps. Today, download my free financial resilience checklist. Link in the description or pinned comment. To stress test your readiness for emergencies, calibrate your mindset, and start building the habits of calm, resilient investors. This week, commit to contributing even a small amount to your investment account. no matter how modest, to begin normalizing growth and detachment. Over the next 90 days, keep tracking your reactions to market shifts and unexpected expenses. Use the checklist to build resilience. In the next 6 to 12 months, monitor how your emotional reactions change as your investments start working in the background. The tools I recommend, like Personal Capital, Mint, or YNAB, can help you track your portfolio and spending side by side, reinforcing these shifts week by week. You'll usually notice more calm within a few weeks as you step out of the defensive mindset and into your investor identity. Deeper changes compound over 6 to 12 months. Celebrate every time a surprise expense or market swing doesn't throw you off track. You're building wealth at a psychological level, not just a financial one. Subscribe to Mark Invests and turn on notifications. Next week's video will break down the exact routines high net worth investors use to protect their peace, even during market chaos. Comment below with your biggest money question or share the expense that used to stress you out the most. And don't forget your financial resilience checklist in the pinned comment. To be clear, this content is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Past performance is no guarantee of future results, and you should always consult a qualified financial professional for your specific situation.